Albert Awol, the voice of the jungle, broadcasting on the DVC to all points unknown. If you're within the sound of my voice, you're listening to Welcome Home Podcast on the DVC.
Hello and welcome home. This episode of Welcome Home is brought to you by DVC Rental Store. Thank you for joining us on episode 335 of Welcome Home, a Disney Parks and Vacation Club podcast. I'm Tom, I'm here with Trevor. How's it going, Trevor?
Hey, pretty good. How's your weekend going? Mine's actually, it's strangely warm here.
Oh, it is here too. It's record highs here today. It's like 73 degrees Fahrenheit here today.
It's like 0 here, which is like unheard of in January.
That's such a difference.
I know it's funny. Highlighting, perspective.
Your record high is 32 degrees.
Perspective means everything, right?
Yeah.
So,
it does.
But we're having a good time up here. We're supposed to be getting a deep freeze, but I'm kind of glad that it's held off because.
Yeah,
we actually, and I wish I should have taken pictures of it. We had there's a phenomenon called hoarfrost, which it sounds scary, but is actually not. It's very cool where like literally like the frost like sticks to everything. So like all of the tree branches and everything are like white, and it's very. I should have sent you a picture because it would have.
I googled it. I've seen that before. That's really cool. It almost looks like feathery.
Yeah. So that's actually been what we've had here for like the last couple of weeks. And actually, I think I'll have to ask my wife. I think she took a picture of the front of the house, or like the tree in the front of the house with it, because it was very like. Or to tie this to Disney is there people have been talking about like the winter in. Or Arendelle in Disney Paris or whatever, Frozen Land, right? And it's like, and it snowed there. And they're like, it's so like Arendelle, and I'm like, yeah, well, I get to actually like live in that.
You live in Arendelle,
it's very, very snowy a lot of the time.
That's crazy. I'm doing I'm not doing a Disney thing today, but like a semi Disney adjacent thing today. It's not even real. It really even isn't, but. It's the 40th anniversary of the movie Labyrinth, Trevor.
Oh yes, and I did know that.
For the 40th anniversary of Labyrinth, they have brought the movie back to theaters. Now, listen, this is not in any way related to Disney, really, but it is a Jim Henson movie, so
it's technically under the Disney umbrella now.
It's not. I don't think it is. It's because it was a Sony movie actually back in the day.
Oh, I thought all of Jim Henson's stuff was like absorbed by Disney.
Well, this is interesting though. Because
Labyrinth was Jim Henson made it, but it was made for Sony.
It was distributed by Sony, but it was also a co-production with Lucasfilm. So Disney may own a part of it. Since Disney owns Lucasfilm now, so I don't know. All I know is. It's a crazy movie. If you've never seen Labyrinth, David Bowie, ridiculous in it.
Did you hear about the babe? Like
what?
You don't know the lyrics to the song? Oh my goodness!
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I was like, what are you talking about?
What babe? The babe with the power.
Yes.
Power.
Sorry.
Come on.
Sorry. Yeah. Listen, I'm not there yet.
Catch up, Tom.
It's been a while. It's actually been a really long time since I've seen Labyrinth. Probably since the 90s, honestly.
Really?
So I'm pumped to go see it in the theaters. It's going to be fun.
Okay, so here's the thing. I don't actually remember the last time that I've watched Labyrinth front to back.
Yeah,
but it is one of those movies that is heavily ingrained in my head. Like
I get that.
I can sit down and watch it, and I'm like, oh yeah, I know this scene. Oh, I know the part where she's talking to the two guards and she's trying to figure out which one's the truth and which one's lying. The worm that tells her, if she went the one way, she would go to the castle. Like I know the movie, but I don't watch it though. Like I haven't watched it, but I know the movie. So
and listen, it's a really good movie. Like I said, it's been a long time, and basically.
You should play the mini golf course because they have the mini golf course for it in Walkabout.
Yeah, we should play that.
Yeah.
I should play that. I mean, listen, there's very few human characters in this movie outside of like David Bowie and Jennifer Connelly, and it's mostly puppets. And a lot of the voices and people in it are the people from the Muppets. I mean, Frank Oz is in there. You got Dave Goelz. you know, you got a bunch of those people. Steve Whitmire. These are all people that do all of your favorite Muppets and that are also in this too. So it's if you haven't seen Labyrinth, I'm sure it's streaming somewhere out in the world. I don't know where, but
yeah. And if your kids are going, what's Labyrinth? This is a good opportunity to sit down and introduce them to the world of Labyrinth, because it is one of those unique like 80s fantasy things that it's like, I wish, or well, you know, it's a double-edged sword, because I know they did this with Dark Crystal and it wasn't well received. Is like, I wish that there was like further universe building of it, but at the same time, I also understand if they did that, it could potentially ruin it for me, because it, like, honestly, like the movie is very nicely packed up. It's front to back, like just a solid movie, but the universe is so interesting, right?
It is. Yeah. They create a lot of really interesting, like, what do you call it? Yeah. Like you said, it's the interest is the universe of it is really interesting. Like they could have done a lot more cool stuff with it, probably. But, you know, listen, I'm excited to see. I don't think I didn't see it originally in theaters, right? Because it came out in 86 and I was too young at that time to go see that.
So
but I definitely saw it on VHS later, probably.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. I don't think it wasn't one of the movies that I went and saw in theaters when it came out. But yeah, that was definitely like, or so I guess to put it in equivalency of like how much effort you put into watching movies in the 80s versus now, is that was a movie that when it was the early to mid 80s. So because I grew up in the 80s, there was a point where we didn't own a VCR.
Oh yeah,
and
sure.
we would have to rent our VCR. Like we would rent the VCR and rent a couple of VHS tapes and watch them over the weekend. And I remember Labyrinth was in that. Like I think that was like, you know, it was one of those weekends where it was like, oh, we had like the big VHS, like the top loader VHS thing, and the
top loader. I love it.
Yeah, like yeah, dude. If you haven't seen a top loader, like those things are crazy. And yeah, but it was. I feel like it was as big, like it was as important as like going to the movie theater. Like you know, at that time, it was like, oh, because we were renting a VHS and like bringing it home and hooking up to the TV and everything. It had that same, like, I know watching things in the theater has a different impact, but like that was still one of those movies that even though I watched it at home, it like instantly stuck with me. So yeah.
By the way, I just looked this up. It's like one of those things that is available for streaming like everywhere. It's on Hulu, Peacock, Disney Plus, and Netflix. You can watch it on any of those places.
Good.
Yeah, go watch it.
Why? Okay, more companies pay attention. Like, do that.
Yeah, why can't we do that for everything? Why do I have to like find things all the time? But yeah, so listen, David Bowie, super creepy in it, really well done. Yeah, it's a really good movie. So go check it out.
I'm excited for you.
Thank you. I'm excited too. I'm just excited to have a night out, you know, just it's not even really a date night because we're going with friends too, but it's funny though, Trevor, because one of our friends refused to go, and I said, why don't you want to go? And she's like, I was traumatized by David Bowie in this movie as a child.
He's not even the worst thing in the movie. Like,
I know, she just said he creeped her out so badly that he didn't want to.
Okay, yeah, I mean, yeah, he is the Goblin King. I mean,
he's creepy. He's creepy.
Yeah, it's fair. I mean,
yeah. Anyway,
what was his name again with a J? Sorry,
what?
I'm sure the Goblin King's name is it Jareth? I think it was Jareth. Sorry,
it is Jareth. You're correct. Yes.
Yeah. But like I said, this is where this movie sits in my head. Like,
I feel like you need to watch it now.
I might need to.
Yeah. You might need to sit down tonight and watch some Labyrinth. You know, now that I'm talking about it,
I'm gonna like randomly bring this up to my wife and be like, you know, we should watch Labyrinth. And she's gonna be like,
why? And then she's gonna listen to the episode and she'll be like, oh.
Yeah. Or I'll forget entirely, and then she'll be like, why didn't we watch Labyrinth? So
there's either way you're gonna watch Labyrinth.
Yeah.
Labyrinth. Yes. I'm a big fan of them bringing these older movies back into the theaters again. I actually really wanted to go. They brought Back to the Future back into the theaters, and they did the those 40X theaters where it's like a Disney show, you know, where
the extra effects and everything, right?
Yeah, and I really wanted to go see it, but it was like it's always such a limited time, you know, and like kind of all the moons have to align for me to actually go see a movie. So,
but you know that's honestly, you know, the whole, you know, saying like, you know, that's a limited time, you know, it does create a sense of urgency around going and seeing stuff like that. I'll be honest, I'm not opposed to more experiences like that where something pops up and it's like you get a chance to experience it or you miss out, and not from the lens of like you know invoking that fear of missing out, but it does kind of bring back like, you know, when these movies were coming out in theaters, like it did feel more like a unique,
like an event.
Yeah, it was an event and it was a unique opportunity, and you, because you know, I remember there was movies where it was like you watched it in theaters and you know it was over a year before you could get it on VHS, if you could even get it on VHS.
If you could
like
even
some
get
of
it
them,
on VHS. Yeah.
So yeah, I kind of I'm a little more receptive now to these like 4D things because I'm seeing where like they're giving that opportunity of an experience, not just like rewatching a movie, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. And by the way, this was I think this was the last film that Jim Henson actually directed. So there you go. Another reason to see it.
Oh yeah, I guess it was after Dark Crystal, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was his last one. So yeah, crazy. Yeah. So anyway,
all right.
Anyway, so let's talk about actual things.
all that aside, we have some listener questions.
Well, a listener question, yeah.
I thought there was two. Oh no, sorry. Sorry. I thought formatting. That's what it is.
My fault.
It looked like two. Okay. All right.
So we have this, or you want to read
it? Yeah. Go for it.
All right. So this is Maddie emailed us. Hi there. Taking an extended family vacation in December of 2026. It will be my baby's first trip to WDW, and everyone from him to his great grandparents are going. We can't wait. That's awesome. I love that those kind of trips. We've done that too, and it's a really cool memory for everybody, I think, you know. Mm-hmm. My question is, if I book a placeholder reservation 11 months out at Copper Creek, where they own, and purchase the dining plan on the DVC website with that, can I easily switch resorts to 7 months out to Polynesian or Boardwalk and keep the dining plan? Or do I need to wait to book the dining plan until the resort is 100% set? I was thinking booking the dining plan now due to the Kids Eat Free promo, but wasn't sure how Disney dining plan worked if I wanted to switch resorts when my booking window for other non-home resorts opened. Thanks in advance for the clarification. And as a PS, Maddie from Minnesota says, I would love to talk staying at DVC and doing Run Disney if you ever want or need a guest on the pod. So there you go. All right. We could talk about Run Disney one of these days.
Okay.
But so I looked this up because I'm not gonna lie, I didn't know the answer. And this is a specific promotion. So from what I've seen here, you can, once you've actually you can do the dining plan now, you can book your reservation now, and you can change without an issue later down the road. So like it says you can still change and you're not going to lose the dining plan. So I would do it all now. But just keep in mind that when you do the dining plan, you're going to have to pay for it in full up front, I believe.
Yeah. The other thing with that too, so this is my experience, because I a couple of times I've had to go and change things at adjust reservations or add or whatever. My experience with things like this is like, you know, if it's booked and if it has a tie to your room, and you're changing your room, I would recommend, make the changes, but you may need to call member services just to make sure that that you talk it through with somebody to make sure that it does get updated properly. Because I did get burned once with not burned, but it didn't get attached properly. I made some changes to a reservation, and it was actually my memory maker or the PhotoPass, it used to be memory maker, didn't get attached properly to my, they just didn't think I had memory maker, and I had to go and like call them and be like, hey, you know, I moved this, it had it, and they're like, oh yeah, and they did it, whatever they did on the back end, and they updated it, and it was fine, right? So, yeah. But yeah, like I said, I would say the caveat with that is, book everything now. In my opinion, it's a lot easier, or, from experience, get everything you want booked. And then you can always phone them and say, I want to change this, and kind of talk through with them what the options are. Right. So,
yeah. And I just looked at like the fine print here, and it says once you've added dining plan to your reservation, you can modify or cancel online. Now I don't know if they're referring to that you can modify or cancel the dining plan online or the reservation, but it doesn't say anywhere that if you change your reservation that you're going to lose your dining plan. So
modifying would include changing, to different resorts, right? So
I would think so.
That seems valid. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, now as far as how easy it's going to be to get Poly or Boardwalk 7 months out. That's a different question.
Yeah. So, I guess that statement of can I easily switch resorts as 7 months to Poly or Boardwalk? Yeah. I would say between the two, you stand a better chance at Poly right now because of the fact that there is now the tower. The
tower, yeah.
And so, again, depending on the size of your family, I don't know. I know you have a lot of people in your family going. If it's multiple studios, that's the
answer we don't know. We don't know what they're booking, right?
Yeah, there's longhouses in the longhouses have a whole bunch of studios, so there's that. But then the island tower has 1 bedrooms and all that. But the tricky part is that there is less 1 bedrooms than there is studios, and again, depending on the size of your party, you may find challenges with getting it at the 7 month mark. I will admit, I honestly haven't looked at what 7 months looks like for the tower right now because my family, we're able to stay in studios. So I usually end up just staying in the longhouses because,
you also just prefer that because it's close to the TTC, right?
Yeah. I mean, there is that, but also like we could do a studio in the tower, but I just don't bother looking at it because this, like I said, the size of my family, it's usually 3 of us traveling. So we don't need to, I don't look at those other room types is the only thing. So I can't really tell you how easy or difficult it would be. But like I said, just thinking again about how like Polynesian versus Boardwalk in terms of like the size and availability, Boardwalk is also one of the smaller resorts too, right?
Yeah, I mean, Boardwalk can be a challenge. It's very popular, obviously. It's it's right there at the. You're looking for close to resort, which I appreciate. I mean, close to the resort, close to the parks, right?
Yeah.
And so really, it's interesting because you're going to book Copper Creek, which is I love Copper Creek, and Copper Creek just got a nice refurb too. Yeah,
like it's even if you stay at Copper Creek, it's still not the worst. Like,
I love Copper Creek.
Wilderness Lodge is still fantastic, but. Yeah, getting into Poly or Boardwalk, like I said, Poly I think is the easier of the two right now. But
I would think so. Yeah, I would think so. Because but I mean, especially if you're it's a hard to answer this question without knowing the size of your party and what kind of room you're doing, right? Because there's different resorts have different room types and different amounts of those rooms, right? So to Trevor's point, if you're doing separate studios, like Poly's got a lot of studios, right? I mean, they pretty much have all studios except for the Island Tower. So so I mean, I don't know. I hope that helps a little bit, but I think you're okay on the dining plan thing. I would just double check though with like member services and make sure that you can change it down the line. But it seems like from what I'm reading, you can, and it's not going to cancel. And especially if they're doing this as a limited time thing, the free dining thing, jump on it. I mean, if you want to. Because it's they do more in a bunch of times that it may run out at any time, or that they have a limited amount. So now whether that's true or not, or that's just for them, them trying to create urgency, I don't know. It's a good question, but
well, I think it's them just covering themselves that people don't assume that it's going to, because they could decide at any point just we don't want to do this anymore, and it gives them the out to say sorry, it was limited availability.
Yeah, it ran out. Yeah, it is really just covering themselves. Yeah. So so that's really. I hope that helps. Listen, we like getting emails. So please feel free to email us when you have questions like that. We would like to do more listener questions. I think again, I kind of miss doing listener questions.
Yeah, I mean, again, to that point, we say this every time on the show, but if you guys. If you have something you want to ask us, even if it's been like we don't have a problem revisiting things that we've talked about before because over time these things do get forgotten, they do change and all that kind of stuff. So it's totally valid to put in questions if you're even if you're not like planning to travel, like just I would be interested, if you just bring up a subject just so that, like Tom showed, we can just take some time to investigate it and figure out what's going on with it. So
yeah, for sure. Now I am over here like looking up room inventories and to see how many.
I was trying to search it too, actually, and I didn't find a quick link, so I didn't want to like.
I'm glad it's not just me. No, I mean it's not just me, but yeah, I mean, listen, there's a lot of studios over at Poly. I mean, there just are. They have a bunch, but I'm trying to see compared to Boardwalk here. Yeah, Boardwalk has way fewer studios than Poly does. So you should have a much easier time. But again, I don't know if you're going studio or not. Maybe you're going larger. I mean, if you're going like 1 or 2 bedrooms, there's probably, I don't know off the top of my head, but let me see here.
So okay, this is just doing a quick switch according to Google AI. I will,
oh boy,
this just came up. Apparently, there's around 72 one bedrooms in the tower.
Okay, there you go.
So I mean that's a good amount. But then let's see if it tells me how much are at Boardwalk.
Boardwalk has a fair amount of one bedrooms. They have like a good amount of those.
Oh wow. Okay. Approximately 279 one bedrooms. All right. Okay. Yeah. Maybe I was wrong. Or depending on your room type.
Yeah. Depends on your room type.
Yeah. Boardwalk may be the better choice than Polynesian. Again, for whatever, like, I guess, that answer comes down to what does your family need? And like exactly what we did here is, look at room inventories because I didn't realize how, that's right. We did talk about this like a long time ago, is that the thing about Boardwalk was if you're planning to stay in studios, the studios are much harder to get because there's way less of them, but then there's way more one bedrooms. So that's, and I think that's why in my head I was thinking like, oh, there's not a lot to get at Boardwalk because I would want to stay at a studio at Boardwalk. And that's why like staying at the Polynesian makes sense because there's a ton of studios at the Polynesian.
Yeah.
So
I just pulled up one of those sites and it's 246 studios at Boardwalk and then 279 one bedrooms at Boardwalk. And then if you look at Poly has 360 studios. I mean it's a pretty big difference.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, I felt like Poly would have been, or Poly feels easier to get access to because they just opened the tower. But I guess in retrospect, like, Poly was like, it's not the biggest resort on property either.
No.
So,
no.
But also, depending on the time of year and everything too, it, they're all booked at different amounts as well.
Yeah. So I look at room inventories all the time when I'm going to book stuff because I am the 7 month. I'm usually like the 5 month booker. Like,
oh, okay, yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm booking last minute. Like I feel like always. I can't tell you the last time I actually used home priority. But maybe never with DVC. I don't.
You until you switched to your home resort to Animal Kingdom, you were never staying at your home resort.
Well, we did we stayed there before we switched it, and that's why we ended up switching it because we liked it so much, but also because Animal Kingdom is a much easier get. They have a lot of rooms.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Is like your home resort was Bay Lake before.
Yeah.
And
it still is, but
but I mean, like you never spent a lot of time staying at Bay Lake.
No, we stayed at Bay Lake. Yeah. Well, twice now, I guess, because we did that Grand Villa a couple weeks ago. So,
but I mean that doesn't count. Like,
no, I know
that was the exception.
Absurdity. I was showing. I was showing pictures of that to somebody, and then I was just like, I had to like qualify it. I'm like, hey, this is not something we do all the time. Okay, this was because I was like, I don't want people to think that like I'm this bougie person like staying at staying in these gigantic rooms for one night at Disney. I mean, which. Listen, it's hard to avoid that viewpoint when you do that, right? And especially when you show somebody pictures of that room, they're like, "Oh my god," which I get. I get, but anyway. So 2026, Trevor, is the 35th anniversary of DVC.
Wow,
and they got a logo for it, and it's kind of interesting.
I was gonna say that this logo. is this really a logo? I don't know. Like, when does it stop being a logo and just a bunch of pictures thrown together?
I mean, it's a piece of art, right? I mean,
yeah, you're right. It's more of a piece of
graphic.
Art. I wouldn't call this a logo per se.
Yeah, I mean, it's a tough thing to say. So it's
busy. I will say that it's very busy.
To describe it to the listening audience, it's, if you haven't seen it yet, it's a cake, right? It's a very boxy cake, though. It's not like a like a graphical cake. It's more of like a
it's a bunch of squares on top of each other.
It's basically a cake outline, yeah. And then at the top, it's got 35 and candles, and with a Mickey face inside of it.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're getting a bunch of different images that you would associate with different DVC resorts, right?
Or so try to.
Like, I'm not 100% sure what the mountain is representing at the top there. I'm just trying to think what that represents.
So okay, so this
what am I missing? I'm missing something. Is it maybe it's the Wilderness Lodge? Maybe I don't know.
No, because Wilderness Lodge is down with, the bear, I guess, would be Grand Californian with the trees and the bear.
Yeah, maybe.
But that could also be
Fort Wilderness. Could be the cabins of Fort Wilderness.
Could also be Wilderness Lodge, because Wilderness Lodge and Grand Floridian are like twins of each other, basically.
Yeah. You definitely have like a Vero maybe in here, and
so the mountain
Head, I don't know.
What would the mountain be?
Don't know.
Like I'm serious. Like this is bugging me now. It's
we're probably missing something obvious, and like someone's gonna say something, and they're like, "Duh," that's what it is.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
Okay, hold on. What are all the resorts?
You need a list of all of them just to see.
Okay, this wouldn't be Alani doesn't make sense because
no,
it's not Disneyland, it's not Grand Californian. Okay, so starting at Disney World, Grand Floridian is further down here.
Yeah,
I see Saratoga.
Okay,
I don't know where. Or okay, Beach Club is there.
Yeah,
Riviera is there. Polynesian. I'm assuming Polynesian is the weird one next to
the
Grand Floridian
kind of looking thing.
Yeah.
I think
maybe
that's
Polynesian.
I could see that.
Or maybe that's contemporary.
Could be contemporary. Yeah, that could be contemporary.
Yeah. Okay, and then what else do we have?
Obviously there's a giraffe here, so I'm going to say that's probably Animal Kingdom, right?
And then
you know what Polly is, Trevor? It's the little design that separates them. That's Polly.
Oh yes. Oh yeah. You're right. I didn't notice it until just now. Yeah. Okay, so that's Polly. The giraffe, is Animal Kingdom. The tent would be
Boardwalk. Maybe
Boardwalk. Yeah. That tracks with Boardwalk.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. It is very carnival-y.
Okay. The crane with the
could be Hilton Head.
Could be, but there's a hibiscus flower there, so that actually is also Polly.
Okay,
because the hibiscus flower is Polly.
Yeah. I'm going to assume I'm trying to figure
out what that yellow thing is next to it. It looks
it's
like
a turtle. It's a turtle, I think.
Oh, it's a turtle. Okay,
yeah.
My mind was messing with me, and it looked like it was like a weird drawing of the butt end of the giraffe with a weird tail or something. Like you see it, right? You see what I'm saying? Yeah.
See, I immediately identified that as a turtle and immediately thought Vero, because they do the whole turtle hatching thing at Vero. So
right.
Yeah.
But then again, the hibiscus flower and everything is Polynesian. And you've got like that again, weird.
Again, weird.
And then further down you have Wilderness Lodge, Contemporary. That mountain is throwing me off.
Yeah, I can't figure out what the mountain is.
I keep going down. Like, there's cabins are there.
Yeah.
So what is the mountain?
I can only think that it somehow is for like Wilderness Lodge or something. That's the only thing I can think of that makes any sense.
Because the mountain, it almost looks like Everest. Like
it kind of does, yeah.
Like it feels like they're like trying to show a ride, but it's like, no, these are resorts.
Yeah, I also
and neither
feel like
Vero or Hilton Head have anything to do with mountains.
No,
but Alani kind of like, because Alani, where it's positioned, it's near some mountains on the island.
Yeah, but
correct?
they could have picked something else to represent that.
Actually, yeah. Even looking at sorry, I'm wrong. Alani is not anywhere near mountains. Like they're yeah.
The only reason I'm saying Wilderness Lodge is because it's called Boulder Ridge, and I don't know. When I think boulder, I think mountain, I guess. But that's all I got. I have no idea what else it could be. Right?
I mean, I'm looking. Is there logos of any of these things? Oh yeah, actually, yeah. The logo. I just searched up that's an Etsy thing, but it has
they
a
do
mountain.
have logos. I thought you meant are they on there? No, they do have logos. You just got to look at it. You got to look for them, but they do have them.
So maybe that's what it's supposed to be.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's
how close are the villas at Disneyland Hotel to the Matterhorn?
Not anywhere near close enough.
That's what I thought.
Yeah. Like actually about as far away as you can
get. Possibly can be.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm just spitballing here, Trevor.
Yeah.
I don't know. If someone has an idea of what that's supposed to be for,
Yeah,
us,
I'm looking at the Wilderness Lodge stuff and everything, and it's like they have like bears and mountains and trees on there. So it's like, that
I think it's Wilderness Lodge.
That all kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
But again, then what's the question then becomes, why do you have that up at the top and then you have the bears and everything down at the bottom? Like it's such a weird.
It's a weird image. It really
is. Yeah. The honestly, as we've been looking more into it here, the more I look at it, it's like it's very disjointed and it's very unclear.
It looks like if you ask AI to make a 35th anniversary DVC image, it's a mishmash of a bunch of different stuff.
Yeah, and I get it. Like some of these things are relevant. I get how they're tying certain things together, but also in terms of sequencing of it is you have the tent and the giraffe and everything where it's okay, these are all different resorts, but the Polynesian and the Grand Floridian and the Contemporary all kind of go together because they're all part of the resort loop, or geographically, right? Yeah. So it's you could it would make sense to me to kind of put them together geographically or thematically connect them together, but I don't see that happening because on the top tier, it's giraffes and tents and turtles, and on the bottom tier, it's bears and beaches and camp. It's. Yeah, it just does not make any sense to me.
We're definitely overanalyzing this, but
but I mean, if you're going to throw out a piece of artwork like this and claim that it's this is representative of your brand, what is it representing?
I agree.
Yeah.
All right. Well, listen, I'll throw this image out there if you haven't seen it, and you tell us what you think.
You two can pick it apart like we did.
Yeah, you can. Yeah. Go. I mean, listen, if you think we misinterpreted something, tell us that too. So, all right. So, Trevor, Bluey coming soon to the resorts, and we're getting some a better idea now of what the Bluey experience is going to look like because they're starting to cast some of the people that they're going to have doing these things, right? So they're gonna have let's see here. They're just kind of doing they're doing actual casting for this. It's not just a random cast member, which I mean, I guess it could just be a random cast member. You just have to try out for it, I guess, I mean, audition. That's the word I was looking for.
Yeah. Any of their roles, you have to meet a bare minimum requirement for, fulfilling any role at Disney, whether it's, as a character performer or just cast member in general. So, yeah.
Yeah. And so this, their rehearsals, they're saying rehearsals will begin in May 2026. So probably, June, July, right? For this to start. I think that's probably a good thing here, but they are looking for high energy actors to play some of Bluey's favorite games with fun animal twists. They should be comfortable hosting large groups, improv, and working closely with children. So, yeah, if you want to try out for that, go do that. I could do that.
That sounds like a terrible mixture for anxiety and
for some
awkwardness
others,
for me.
Others would be all about it.
That is exactly the opposite of what kind of experience I would like to do.
Yeah. So along with this, though, they've also filed a permit to install some electrical equipment, I guess. I'm gonna guess this is gonna be like a big screen or projector or TV or something. You know what I mean? Like they're gonna be building this little space, but it's gonna be the conservation station.
Yeah, okay. I was gonna say this is that conservation station. So
yeah. And listen, so and the animation, the only space that's available there is where the animation experience is now, and they're opening the whole animation experience thing over at Hollywood Studios, so it kind of makes sense that they can shut that down and then just be like, go over to Hollywood Studios, where it makes more sense anyway, right? I mean, it makes more sense for the animation stuff to be at Hollywood Studios, and for a animal oriented thing to be over at Animal Kingdom. So my assumption is that it's taking over that space. But listen, it's funny because my daughter asked, she kind of wanted to take a break from Disney this year, but I also, when I mentioned the Bluey thing, she's like, so when are we going? And I was like, well, you kind of said you want to take a break, kid.
Oh, come on.
I could listen.
Let's be honest. Even my son, who he's made it clear that he's finishing up high school, and so we're not planning anything because of that. If an opportunity came up where we're like, hey, we won like tickets to Disney, or we're going because of X, he would not turn us down.
Yeah,
like it's
that's fair. That's good.
Kids won't, they'll say one thing, but they don't always mean what they say.
That's true. Well, my daughter changes her mind every 10 minutes anyway, so it's that too. It's the age or whatever. But anyway, all right. So you want to go ahead and we'll do our ad, Trevor, here, and then got a couple other things to talk about too.
Yeah, sure. Our sponsor this week is DVC Rental Store. DVC Rental Store is a World of DVC company that offers magical vacations at incredible value. Save up to 60% off retail rates at premium Disney resorts. DVC Rental Store now includes deposits as low as 25% at the time of booking and a built-in cancellation policy for every reservation. And as always, DVC Rental Store pays out the most to members looking to rent their points. Want to learn more? Go to dvcrentalstore.com/welcome home or call 1-855-DVC-RENT. That's 382-7368. And when you speak to them, be sure to let them know that Welcome Home sent you.
All right. So, Trevor, Disney announced a whole bunch of stuff. For this summer, right? Like deals and stuff, right? And we talked about the free dining plan thing earlier, but they're doing that cool kid summer thing again. That they did last year. And so there's going to be a lot of deals, but the one I'm really looking at here that I thought was interesting is they're doing 2 free room nights and theme park days when you do a 4-day package. So you can do a 4-day package and that turns into a 6-day package. Yeah. See, interesting, right?
That's pretty good. I feel like this is something when I was growing up,
they did more of.
Yeah. Like I remember, like, because we did a couple of trips to Disneyland, not Disney World, but same kind of deal. Was I remember my parents planning and saying like we were going this week, and then we found out that there was this promo on, and we got like 2 extra days. So, we the same sort of thing is, we turned like a 4-day trip into a 6-day trip because, they're just throwing extra days at you. So,
I've talked about this before. I think when I was a kid and we went in 1999 or 2000, one of those, we were staying at Wilderness Lodge, and back then you had to check out of the resort. You had to like physically go to the desk and check out. And my mom was checking out, and they were like, "Hey, do you want to add, 2 more days for, like $300 or something like that?" And my mom was like, "Yeah." And then we ended up staying there for 2 days. They don't do that anymore, though. Like that's just not a thing. I mean, even this isn't that, right? Because this is, you're booking it ahead of time. You got to buy the package and all that stuff. But like that stuff used to happen a lot, where they would just be like, "Yeah, just throw us a couple $100 extra bucks. So you can stay for a couple more days." Like I was, I remember being shocked at the time. I'm like, "Wait, we're just gonna stay here now a couple more days? Like what happened?" Like it was crazy. But yeah, the caveat to this, by the way, is that you have to book this between January 6th and February 15th. So you have a limited time to book this, right? So you have to do it through February 15th, and it's available for most stays from May 26th through September 15th. So
okay, yeah.
So you got a limited time to jump on it, but that's a heck of a deal.
I feel like there is a couple of good windows between May and September that that you could definitely make a lot out of this for sure. Like it, having 6 days in like late August feels like it could be a pretty good trip.
Yeah,
So I would be surprised if people are, jumping on this already. The funny thing is, we're talking about this and, as DVC members, like
we're not going to use this.
Yeah, we're not going to use this, but
listen, we know, I don't know what the proportion of non-DVC listeners to DVC listeners are, but
and to that end, like, I don't know about you, but I do have I have people that, acquaintances and stuff and people that I know at work that know me as, the person who does Disney stuff. Yeah. And so they'll come and be like, hey, what do you think about this? And so, knowing stuff like this is not a bad thing because, even if you don't use it yourself, if somebody else is planning a trip, you can help, you can flag it to them because, people aren't checking this stuff as routinely as we are. So
that's exactly right. And that's why we talk about these things because, if you're not up on it and you hear this and like, maybe you have a friend that wants to go or something but doesn't want to spend too much. Hey, look at that. This is 2 free rooms, room nights and theme park days. Like can't really beat that, man. Yeah. I mean, that free dining plan for kids is pretty decent too, but we've talked about the free dining plan thing before. Not always a great deal, but that's neither here nor there. It's a little bit different because it's kids eat free, and it's kind of a different situation. So, it's a good way to do it. But kids, so that one, the kids get between ages 3 and 9 when you purchase a package for you and the kids. Also keep in mind with the dining plan too. Everybody in the room has to have everyone has to be on the dining plan. By the way.
Yeah,
if you don't know,
you can't buy one plan for one person and share it around. It's
exactly
everyone does need their own.
Exactly. So they also are doing a 30% off on select Disney resorts, up to 30% off, which is the thing they always do. And usually it goes like this, where the value rooms you can get 10 to 15% off, and then moderate you can get like 20 or 15% off, and then so as you go up the chain, you get a bigger discount, but it's also more expensive, right? So
yeah.
So those are out there. Go
and I should actually add on to this that we get or I get emails because I'm a Canadian resident. They do these same kind of promos, but they frame it as like Canadian discount offer, but it's like the same. It's like 30% off, right?
Yeah.
So. Yeah, exactly. But it's this particular part. It happens a lot more than I think people realize.
Yeah.
What they're saying though, so these promos, like this one is like you have to stay between May and October. So the windows are always very they're trying to get promos over the summer right now. And so if you're looking for something closer or into the fall or Christmas, this is not it, or this may not line up with what you want. Just keep that in mind.
Yeah, so. They offered the whole reason they offer deals is to fill the parks up at the times where they might not be as full, right? Now, given summertime is a busy time. Yeah. Summertime is a busy time, but it's also super hot, and a lot of people don't want to go in the heat. So, that could be it too. But anyway, Florida residents cost to save 35% on rooms, and annual pass holders can save up to 40% on rooms. So they're trying to get some pass holders in up in there too, and also just Florida residents. And then water park free for a day, still doing that. I kind of wanted to take advantage of it last time I was there, but didn't really work out. But
something to note with that though is, again, they have the water park free thing is a limited time frame. So
26th to the 8th, May 26th to September 8th.
Yeah. So again, really over the summer, they're offering it. But
yeah. There's also too, I saw this too. So we talked about the Bluey stuff, but then they're doing a thing at the Diamond Horseshoe. They're doing a Jesse Woody show called Jesse's Roundup, which is interesting because they haven't. I don't think they've done a show at the Diamond Horseshoe in forever.
I was gonna say I can't remember the last time there was anything to do at the Diamond Horseshoe I guess my experience with the Diamond Horseshoe has always been around like the Christmas party and stuff where like it's a place you go to get cookies and whatnot. So exactly. I'm not hanging out in Diamond Horseshoe on a regular day, I guess is my statement there.
Yeah. So I mean that's I don't think I've ever for a while Diamond Horseshoe was only opening seasonally when they needed more capacity, like if I remember correctly, and so I haven't been there forever. I don't even, maybe I've never been to the Diamond Horseshoe. I'm just trying to think if I've ever been there.
Like I said, I remember I've walked into that building specifically to get a cookie during the Christmas party.
That was the only reason, though. You never gone and actually sit down and eat there.
Yeah, that is my like most recent specific memory. You're right. I don't think I've ever like gone and sat down in Diamond Horseshoe, or even like you said, I don't even know if it's been open in the times that I've been there. So.
It's been open lately. I mean, for the past couple of years, it's been open year round.
Right.
But they basically have the exact same menu as Liberty Tree. It's the exact same dishes from Liberty Tree. So, I mean, and they're not even shy about that. They actually even say, same dishes from Liberty Tree. So, listen, I love Liberty Tree. So, I mean, I guess if Liberty Tree didn't have any availability, I guess I could just go to Diamond Horseshoe. But it's kind of cool they're doing doing a thing there. It really
an activity kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah, because there's crafts, dancing, and yodeling. Okay, cool.
I mean that is Jesse's thing. So
yeah, it is Jesse's thing, man. It is.
Yeah.
So that's fun. They're also doing a thing at Communicore Hall called Goofy Core. Okay, where you can dance and play along with the Goof Troop, DJ Dance Pants, and Goofy himself during wacky activities. Goofy's Game Machine. So they're doing like games and stuff. It looks like there's a parachute involved, which, listen, my favorite day at gym when I was a kid was parachute day, man. Parachute was the best. All right. Who doesn't love parachutes?
The parachute was always fun.
Yeah, exactly. So, and then, all the stuff that we've kind of reviewed already, all the new stuff coming to the parks this year. So there's a lot of that coming. I think that was really it of all these things, but there's,
yeah, I don't think there's anything else new we need to, like you said, we've touched on this stuff in in very recent episodes. So
yes. I mean, listen, there's the new Disney Junior Mickey Mouse Clubhouse Live thing that's going to be opening up in that whole area over at Hollywood Studios. So, there's also that too. So yeah, lots of cool stuff.
All right,
so, Trevor.
So you have another Disney parks adjacent thing here.
Well, so listen, there's not a lot of parks news going on right now. So when there's not a lot of parks news, we kind of will venture into other things. And I saw this and was very interested in this. And also because of some of this casting, my daughter is now on board with going to see this when it eventually comes out. So there's been some casting news on the live action Rapunzel, which has been in development for a while now. Right. Yeah. So number one, and this I'm going out of order here, Trevor, but we can go in order of the way that they announced these. So they announced who was cast as Rapunzel and Flynn Rider. I don't know who this girl from Rapunzel is, that's Rapunzel, but looking at her,
wait,
I get it.
Is that Tegan Cross? Hold on.
She's from DC's Teen Titans.
Oh, okay. She looks like Holly from Stranger Things.
Oh, no, I don't think it is her because she's older. But yeah, no, she kind of does look like Holly from Stranger Things.
Hold on, let me. Okay, yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, she did play Raven, which
I'm more interested in the Flynn Rider casting because as I think I've talked about on this show, my daughter's very into the zombies movies. And the guy they cast as Flynn Rider is the main character of the zombies movies, and she absolutely loves those things, and especially this character. And I feel like it's really good casting, actually.
Yeah, I mean, these two definitely look the part, like even without like any makeup or because the thing is when you get the final product, like they obviously look like the characters and everything, but these two definitely immediately fit. Like, oh yeah, I can see where like that's Flynn and Rapunzel.
Oh, yeah. Plus it's also smart for them to use Milo Manheim, who's the guy that from Zombies, because first of all, he's already in the Disney bubble, right? But you're also going to pull it. I'm telling you, when I went to that concert, the Zombies Descendants concert, he wasn't even there, but every time he came on the screen, all the girls in the crowd lost their minds, like flipped out. So like there were people, and my daughter might be one of them. She'll go to see this just because he's in it. You know what I mean?
And this is the smart way to do these things is that, there is, it's interesting how fandoms will like follow actors around through different projects and stuff like that. And Disney is clearly not oblivious to that.
Yeah, they know how to do this kind of stuff.
Yeah, and I mean, the hard part for me is that I'm getting older and I don't want to accept it, and I'm not in tune with the things that are going on with like. I've done this with like a lot of things where it's like, oh, this person is like, you'll hear about pop culture things, and I'm like, I don't even know who that person is.
I've never even heard that person.
Even this guy from Zombies. It's like, yeah, I know about zombies. I don't care about it though. But I get, there's people that are hyped around it, and it's all a timing thing at the end of the day. Yeah. It's like, what you're into at the time, what is, what your friends are talking about and all that kind of stuff. Disney is definitely playing into that. And, this is a good way for them to kind of get in a next generation of, people hyping about Disney movies. And I will say, live actions are they're a very touchy subject, and they're very hit and miss, right?
It can be, yeah.
Like when you initially say to me like, oh, they're doing a live action Tangled, like in my head I go, why? Like the movie was fine. Like, why do you need to redo it? Right. But
it's fair.
I get Disney is doing this stuff, and it's a means of reintroducing it and retelling and all that. And I will admit, like, the Maleficent movies, which were a retelling of Cinderella but from a different perspective, I really liked those. Like, and
listen, yeah, there were a couple of them I really liked.
And part of that was like Angelina Jolie as an actress. I've watched a lot of her movies over the years. Like, she was in Tomb Raider. I go as far back as like I watched Hackers, which was like one of my favorite movies from the 90s, and she was in that. So like I get like, following actors and stuff through this. Talking about these two, it's like, okay, I don't really get this. But then I saw you put this other thing on here.
Okay, yeah, because this is a bigger one.
Mother Gothel, which they're apparently casting Catherine Hahn,
which is another great casting for this movie.
Okay, now you've got my attention because Catherine Hahn, obviously you her as Agatha from WandaVision and Agatha all along, and and she's had she's had her own rightfully very very good career, and like I've seen her in other movies, and actually gone back and like there was like movies that like my wife would watch, and it was like, oh, is that Catherine Hahn? Like I didn't realize like she was in.
She shows up in a lot of stuff.
Yeah. She was a great supporting actress, and she's really getting like her front and center attention right now, which is So that because of that, it's like Mother Gothel is like that character has a lot of range to just like be. It gives her an opportunity to be a certain kind of crazy. Yeah. Which, I think, I'm really hoping that her combined with, this cast honestly is pretty stacked to get a lot of people's attention for a live action show. So, I mean, I'm curious to see how this plays out because, I enjoy Tangled. I'm not like obsessing over Tangled or anything, but the right casting for this is enough to get my attention to go like, oh, maybe I will go watch a live action. Yeah. Right. Like it's an interesting thing. Like it's, and that's why I don't want to say like, all live actions are bad, but it's like, if Disney is actually listening and doing it right and like, doing it with the right purpose and, not just rehashing the story. Like I'm sorry. Some of the live actions were just like literally like copy paste of the previous movie. Yeah. Which I hate that. I hope that they give it some space where like someone like Catherine Hahn, like she's going to bring
so much cool stuff to that role.
Yeah. And it's almost like, and okay, nobody get mad at me for this. Like I'm not saying that, Robin Williams was, a phenomenal actor in his own right. I'm not saying that Catherine Hahn is Robin Williams, but I put them both in the same space as if given the opportunity to, stretch their wings in a role, they can do some real like a lot of things that we see as iconic that like Robin Williams did was him bringing his own stuff to it, right?
Yeah.
I feel like with like this is the same kind of thing. Like if Disney doesn't like try and force Catherine too much into like, no, you like give her some space to like make some comments, do some like almost fourth wall breaking. I feel like that could like really make it a better show than just like retelling Tangled. Yeah. So yeah.
Well, and listen, she can sing, and she kind of sounds like Mother Gothel. She looks like Mother Gothel. Like it kind of just seems perfect.
It's not a hard transition to get her into that role.
100%.
Especially you literally like this article that you linked. Like they have the side by side, and it's like Like, okay, yeah. The hair just needs to be black instead of brunette.
Exactly right. And, I mean, you can just hear her doing that voice too. Like, you can hear her doing like a similar.
Mother Knows Best. You
can hear her
very
singing
easy.
That. Yeah. And I mean, like, and I don't think she's going to imitate the original voice, but like, I think she will definitely, kind of do the inflection that she does and all that kind of stuff. I'm sure she'll bring her own thing to it. But listen, I've liked a lot of the live action remakes. Like Lilo and Stitch was really good, and I mean, it made $1 billion for a reason. I mean, it was a good movie, and they changed a lot in that movie. It was a fundamentally different movie than the original, and
exactly that's exactly my point. Is that Disney seems to be waking up to that, but because I don't spend a lot of time watching movies, I do get kind of stuck. Like I did watch a couple of live actions like Beauty and the Beast and Lion King, and it was like, they're
listen, there were things I liked in Beauty and the Beast. Like I enjoyed Gaston and LeFou. Like I felt like that was a lot of fun, and like
but those like yes, that was those actors definitely brought more to the role, but the actual like structuring of the movie was just not like
and I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't really interested in the live action Moana, but I'm kind of interested to see The Rock play what's
Maui
live. Yeah.
Instead, because
I don't know. I'm interested. I want to see how it and they've even been kind of like being weird about it in trailers.
That he did
like they've shown in trailers basically is his back so far, right? Like they showed him jumping off the cliff, and that's all you see, right? But I kind of want to see it, like just based on that. And I mean, listen, the girl that they got to play Moana, I mean, she sounds like Moana. She looks like, I mean, they nailed it on that too. And I mean, it looks like the production value is good just based on what I've seen so far. But I mean, I don't know. It's going to be really, really interesting.
Yeah. Like you said, it's kind of funny how like maybe I could be wrong here, but I feel like maybe Disney is turning a corner creatively because they're like throughout history, we've talked about this before, like there's like the golden age of, Disney movies and all that. Like there is ups and downs of how Disney does production. Yeah. And the content that they put out. And I feel like, and this is just my opinion. If you feel otherwise or you disagree, totally fine. Like I'm not discounting anyone else's perspective on this. I feel like Disney has been in a slump since about, I want to say as far back honestly as like 2014.
You think so?
Like it feels like they're like, it's been, they've had like a few little sparks of like there's been like the Moana, Frozen, like those one-off hits. But when I think back to like again talking about the golden age, like there was a point where it was like back to back to back to back that they were like just putting out bangers, right? Like it was, and it feels like right now they're throwing a lot more at the wall and it's not sticking. And I also attribute that to the fact that there was a couple of franchises that Disney has really been milking for a long time that they should have stopped. Don't hate on me, but Star Wars stuff needed to stop coming out about 5 years ago.
But I mean, like they were the number one studio last year as far as box office gross goes. And in 2019, 2018, 2017, 2016, they've been killing it box office wise.
Quantity does not trump quality.
No, I guess
my point there.
I understand that.
The reason that they are there, that they were up there, is yes, they have the power to put, like, the sheer volume of what they're putting out puts them at, even the ones that don't do as well, they're still just by nature of how many things they've been churning out for the last 10 years. Yes, of course they're going to be on top because of that. But my point is not so much around how much stuff is coming out, but it feels like they're kind of slowing down and maybe putting a little bit more quality into it. That's my perspective on it. And I'm not, if you want to disagree with me, totally fine. Want to hear that. But, that's just my view on it, is that I feel like Disney they've not been on 100% their A game for a long time. And like I said, like the last 10 years is what I feel like. It feels like they've kind of been fumbling a bit with trying to find a good cadence of, like, making these shows and releasing them and all that stuff. Like this kind of casting with Tangled, it feels like they're not trying to rush it.
Sure,
is what I feel like. They are thinking about, like, yes, Catherine Hahn. You could say it is a little bit of typecasting, that she looks the part, but they're thinking of it from the angle of, based on what this person has done, will they bring to the role what people expect to see, right?
Yeah,
so instead of just like, sorry, it felt like for a long time, and this is kind of where it got me to, where, like, I stopped watching a lot of Disney shows for a long time, was that they were just churning stuff out, and none of it felt impactful. Like it felt like I said, even the live actions and stuff, it was just like, okay, they're just getting stuff out the door for the sake of getting stuff out the door. I'm hoping that this is like them turning a corner of getting back to more of that, better quality that they like. And I'm not saying
like
Disney is
specifically with like the animated stuff, or like, because I mean they did a lot. There's been a lot of great. Yeah, I mean there's been a lot of great Marvel movies, and I mean there's been a lot of good stuff over the past couple of years. I just
yeah, but even the Marvel stuff, like since Avengers Endgame, a lot of it's been very hard to keep track of.
Yeah, and they just did too much. I think.
And there's exactly. Like I said, it's the quantity has been killing the quality of it.
Yeah,
right?
I think that was when Iger came back in. He tried to reverse that, because that was kind of the previous regime of Bob. The previous Bob. The other Bob wanted quantity over quality, and then Iger came back in and was like, no, we need to do quality over quantity. So I mean, last year was a very good year for them. I mean, they did very, very well.
I'm not, and that's kind of my point too, is that it feels like that we're coming around the bend back to like better quality shows.
Yeah.
Which, and like I said, for me, it's my priority is not around like the most flashiest effects or even who they're casting. It's more that, when I watch a show, and actually to this point, we finished watching Stranger Things, on New Year's, and, I was left at the end of that show with like, and, you can argue about like, the finale missed this and whatever, like, all the minutia of it, but I felt satisfied at the end, and it felt like a complete story.
It's funny because
right?
I everyone I know that I've talked to, like that I personally know, really love the finale, but every article I read is like the mixed feelings on the finale. Every the internet hates it or whatever. I'm like, but every person I've talked to has loved it. I don't. It's just weird.
There is a subset of people that just want to pick everything apart, and that's fine. For me, I felt it felt the same as like reading a book or finishing a video game, where it's like everything finishes at the end and it just feels like a complete story, right? Like that's really what I'm kind of looking for from movies and shows and stuff like that. And it feels like for a long time, Disney was not doing that. Like they weren't cleanly doing their storytelling. And it leaves you at the end of it, you're kind of like, well, that was it. Or like, what happened? Like it doesn't it doesn't feel good, right?
Yeah,
and
yeah.
and I know my criteria is very ambiguous in that I'm saying
I
like
understand.
but yeah, like I said, that's just my feeling on it, is that stuff like this makes me feel like maybe Disney is waking up to the idea that they don't have to churn out as many movies, and they can do better, not more, right?
Yeah. Just really quickly, and I'm gonna put a spoiler alert really quickly here on this. The only thing that bothered me about the Stranger Things finale, so if you haven't watched it, skip ahead now. But how is it that Hopper can kill like 30 military guys and then he just goes back to being the sheriff of the like what like
okay, so
that's where my problem is. He like killed like 30 soldiers, and like they're just like, it's cool, we'll just move on.
Okay. I understand that, and I'm gonna play devil's advocate here.
Problem.
I don't completely agree with this, but the government was doing sketchy stuff. This
so
was
like, don't say anything.
so they were doing stuff under the table that if he did go to trial, or if something did happen to him, people would kick up enough dust that it would bring attention to them, and they would go, and so them trying him for, you killed our people in the Upside Down is an admission of they knew that this was going on. Right.
I just like that it wasn't explained at all, and it's just like, Hopper killed all these people and no one cares. It's cool. We're fine.
I mean, to be fair, I think the majority of the ones we went after were all in the Upside Down.
Yeah,
which
that's true.
Plenty of people disappeared in the Upside Down, and the government was just like, oops.
Listen, I was happy with how it ended, but that one just got me, because I'm like, wait, there's no consequences? We just go back to normalcy? Okay, cool. Anyway. Sorry for spoilers. Just, hopefully you got a chance to see it.
Mark that, and we can, put it at the front of the episode. Like, hey, Stranger Things finale spoiler at this time if people are concerned about it. Which, I mean, if
you haven't watched it right now, I mean, it is what it is. It's your fault. I'm just kidding. It's 2 hours long. It's hard.
That is actually, like, I said to my wife, like, we have to watch this on New Year's Eve, only because of the fact that just the way social media works now. And it's not that I don't spend a lot of time on social media, but occasionally, like, YouTube Shorts or Facebook Reels, stuff pops up, and I'll get little tidbits of like, this scene from the finale, and it's like, no, don't, like, I don't.
No, what drives me nuts is there are websites, because of the way the internet algorithms work, that will just they'll put in the headline, the reason why X character died in this episode of whatever, right? And it's like, why would you do? I know why you did it, but like, I hate you for it, because it's like, I am trying to avoid these things, and I can't avoid them because it's just in the headline. Like,
it's so difficult to avoid spoilers.
Yeah, just saying this character, and I know why they do it, because you get clicks by doing it. But
it's clickbait, and it sucks because you can't.
I hate it. Yeah,
I wish there was a filter for clickbait. Like if I could revise my algorithm, that it's like, I want to see like content about Stranger Things, but no clickbait.
But no clickbait, no spoiler. Like, give me a spoiler filter. Like, that's what I need in my life. Anyway, Trevor, last but not least today. And I put this on here because it seems mundane, but I'm interested to see your thoughts on this.
Mm-hmm.
So, as we know, Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger Spin has been closed, for a while now, because they're redoing it. And one of the questions I think we had, you and I, at the beginning of this is, are they going to redo all the signage up front? Right? Like, are we going to move away from the super cartoony, like, kind of
the 90s cartoon? Like, it's very much like the 90s Buzz Lightyear animated show. Yeah,
it is. So I think our question might be answered on that, because a permit has been filed to replace the signage of this ride. Now, are you sad that here's the thing. I don't know. I'm assuming they're going to deviate from this, because like you said, that was very 90s. And I'm assuming they're going to bring it up into, like, I don't know, maybe not. Maybe they want to keep it 90s because, that was Toy Story was 90s and they want to keep that vibe to it. I don't know. But, maybe they're just putting something in that's a little more updated and a little more, I don't know. But my question is, are you sad to see that happen, or are you cool with the progress?
I mean, my take on this is looking at the overall aesthetic of Tomorrowland, we talked about the Tomorrowland problem before, that it becomes out of date very quickly, and this is a great example of leaving it the way it is. Unfortunately, like like we just established, it is very rooted in the 90s.
It is, yeah.
And so. And I haven't watched the Buzz Lightyear cartoon in a long time. I think since I sat down and watched it with my kid when he was like 5 or something like that. I'm
not gonna lie, I kind of forgot it existed until now.
Yeah, and I mean we watched it just because like I was hunting for like there's that there's a whole lineup of like Disney afternoon cartoons besides like the obvious like Chip and Dale and everything. Like there's a whole slew of them that like I went through with my son when he was younger to just see what sticks. And this didn't stick. I from my point of view, I want to see what they do with it. My only curiosity around it is that it's very heavily 2D animated at the moment. I'm wondering if they're going to give it like the proper like Toy Story 3D animation to it, and also if Zurg is going to stay on there as well, because Zurg is a heavy, like he's the antagonist in the cartoon, and he shows up in the I think it's the second Toy Story movie, but again he's really not he's not actually a main character in Toy Story, so it's kind of like I'm curious what they're going to do with it. And
you're still battling Zurg though, right? In the ride, like it's the storyline of the ride still,
Yeah. Okay, so I guess that's fair. But then, I hope that I honestly don't know what I want for it.
I don't know either. It's got to be a tough job to come up with that, because you want to maintain that nostalgia, but at the same time, you need to not have it look like it does right now.
It is so like stuck in 1997 right now that at the very least, it needs to be. I don't even know what needs to change with it, but something needs to change with it. And my wife, so Buzz Lightyear is one of her favorite rides because in terms of things she can do in Tomorrowland, like roller coasters and whatnot are not something she can do. So like there's Buzz Lightyear and the People Mover are kind of her go-tos while we're going and doing Tron and Space Mountain and all that. So but I will say I don't think my wife is too married to the 97's aesthetic of Buzz Lightyear either. So, I don't think she's going to be too upset about the signage changing. But I think what I don't want to see is, do you remember when they changed the Boardwalk, the slide?
Oh, the Boardwalk slide, yeah.
Yeah, I remember we talked about that, where it was like, we kind of liked it, like it had a very unique thing to it, and what they replaced it with felt very
they threw a decal on it.
Very very like generic white toast kind of white toast no butter kind of vibe to it, right?
I can't imagine that'll happen here.
Yeah, I really hope that's not the case here. Even at the very least, if they just clean it up a little bit and still leave it, you can still leave the color palettes. You could still leave it effectively the way it is, and just kind of like update the lettering and the hand drawn animation to something a little newer.
I mean, if we can get any idea of what they're going for from the ride vehicle, the new ride vehicle, it does have that same vibe still, right? So like I assume that because I mean it looks very much like a toy, right? Yeah. And I think that's what the sign is always kind of evoked, is like a toy box kind of thing, and that's really a lot of what they're going for. So to your point, like I'm hoping that they kind of keep the similar vibe, but just update it and make it, it probably just needs to be updated too. It's probably just, it's an old sign, so it needs to be updated, right? So, I mean, I'll be interested to see what that's going to look like.
Do you know what I just realized I hope doesn't happen with this sign?
What?
Is that I hope they don't try and update it using AI.
I would hope not.
Because I know
you're saying create the logo with AI,
or clean up the animation or
the look of it,
the drawing of Buzz. Like I feel like I'm looking at, I'm like, somebody could throw this into an AI thing and be like, clean this up, and it could do it, but then something would be off with it, right? And then and not like not to say Disney is like going all in on AI, but I know there's been a couple of examples of like promo stuff that they put out that is very clearly done with AI.
Yeah.
And I feel the worst thing that could happen is if that moves over into the creative space for them.
Yeah.
Like, you know, AI is great for like taking care of menial tasks and taking care of things that are, you know, easy to do. When it starts, right, and I'm fully aware of the fact that yes, we've used AI to like do like our Christmas logo and stuff like that.
Nobody needs to know that. Nobody needs to know that.
No, but okay, let's be honest. Tom and I are not artists, right?
Maybe so, I've developed art skills later in life, Trevor.
Okay, sure, Tom. But so it filled a gap for us. But I'm not displacing the fact that if I was to do a proper logo, I would engage somebody to do it, and I would get it done by somebody who actually like knows the rules of like design and stuff like that. I hope Disney is doing the same thing with this, and that they're not trying to cut corners with it.
I doubt it. It's too high profile, I feel like.
Yeah, I feel like to that end, if they did decide to do something AI with this and replace it, people would like in the first like days of it being open, people would pick it apart because they do, right? So yeah.
All right.
Just going to throw that out there.
Of course.
We'll see how this plays out.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think that does it, Trevor. I think that's let's wrap this thing up.
Yeah, that was a good spread of stuff for this week, I think.
Yeah. I think so. Yeah. All over the place, but that's how we do.
Yeah, I'm not opposed to being all over the place. It keeps things interesting.
It does.
Yeah. So yeah, if you have questions for us that you want to hear on the show, like how Maddie sent us an email in, you can always email us at welcomehomepodcast@gmail.com and, send us questions, send us, share your own trip report, share stuff that you're doing for Disney, all that kind of stuff. We love hearing from you guys and hearing your own thoughts on stuff on Disney and questions and all that. Cause, like we said at the beginning of the show, sometimes there's things that, we can't dive into absolutely everything, but if you guys have a question or something, it's, it kind of gives us anchor points to look into things for the show. So, fire us questions if you want us to cover a particular topic. Also, you can find us on social media. So you can find us on Facebook as Welcome Home Podcast. You can find us on YouTube as Welcome Home Podcast. You can find us on Instagram as Welcome Home Pics. On Facebook, we do have our group, Welcome Home Disney Waitlist, where we do talk about things from the show. Everybody in there loves sharing their own Disney stuff. I love seeing the trip reports. I love seeing people posting pictures of things that they're doing, just for this, only for the sake of, just sharing with other people that enjoy Disney. I think that's valuable. And, we love seeing that in the group. So, thank you for people who do that and keep it coming because, it's nice to have a fun Disney group that's not full of drama because that's what we are, right?
Yep, that's right.
We're a fun group, not full of drama. Also, if you want to help support the show, we do have a store, so you can go to store.welcomehomepodcast.co and you can check out some of our shirts and stuff. Maybe if you need a shirt for an upcoming trip or something. If you do happen to get some merch, we take a pic of it in the park and send it, put it on Facebook or, send it to us. We love seeing that stuff too, just that you guys are enjoying it. And then also we have a Patreon. So you can go to patreon.com/welcomehomepod and check out our different levels of Patreon support, which have exclusive merch that you can only get in the Patreon store. Or Patreon web. I shouldn't say store. It's
you just get website. It for being a member.
Yeah. You get it for being a member. And also all of our Patreon supporters get access to the Discord server, which is yet another place that we have conversations about stuff from the show. Sometimes off topic things, sometimes, people talking about DVC and, just everything Disney. And again, it's just another place where we have great conversations with our listeners. Shout out to Becky in the Discord this last week. She was doing some planning and asking for some advice, and I think we helped her. Maybe I think we helped her, but I know she ended up going for more stuff, which maybe that's not helping. I don't know. But yeah, she was trying to figure out some stuff, and that was a fun little conversation about just her trying to do some Disney planning. So stuff like that, and it's always in the Discord. Last but not least, if you're listening on iTunes or Spotify or anywhere you can leave 5 stars, leave us 5 stars. Just helps more people find the show, helps us get more visible, and it's just a good thing for the internet algorithm. And you can also leave us a review on iTunes if you want to share your thoughts about the show on iTunes, because and we do read those. We do see what you guys say about the show and what you think about what we're saying. So keep that stuff coming too.
Yeah, and don't forget to subscribe to Welcome Home Podcast so you can be reminded every time we release a new episode. We can, really helpful to subscribe, helpful for us, helpful for you, right? So you can find us on Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, TuneIn, Stitcher, Spotify, YouTube Music, just about any podcast app that's out there. You can find us. By the way, we will have we are going to be doing a food time again sometime here soon for the Festival of the Arts. So there will be an upcoming food time here. So keep an eye out for that. We forgot to mention that earlier, but yeah, we'll have that. We saw the Figment cake, and we absolutely have to do an episode just to talk about that. So that'll be coming anyway. Look for us, by the way, on any of the podcast platforms. You can find us there. And huge thank you to our sponsors, DVC Rental Store, for sponsoring this episode. And of course, World of DVC for being partners for a long time now. So join us next time for more Disney Parks discussion. Of course, more DVC talk. We hope to see you all real soon.
This is Skipper Albert Awol, the voice of the jungle, signing off from Welcome Home Podcast on the DVC. To a house when we had a chair, how she can cuddle is no man's affair. I look around for all the holes, found her in her sugar bowl. Look out, here comes my